Good evening. Before we begin, a disclaimer and a warning for tonight's episode. Tonight's broadcast may be unsuitable for children, adults, and living creatures.
Listener's discretion is advised.
I've been keeping my ear to the streets. The UK run out of ideas. Everybody doing covers of American beats.
Live from the In the Room studios located in the Net Carrier and Cloud. This is the VOC Nation Radio Network. Live from the In the Room studios located in the Net Carrier and Cloud. This is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
Hey everyone, it is your favorite knockout, Mickey James, and you're listening to the VOC Nation.
Voice of Choice Wrestling Nation.
Heard worldwide.
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 Worldwide, baby. Worldwide, man.
Worldwide.
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 Worldwide. En el mundo todo.
Worldwide.
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 Worldwide. On VOCNation.com.
Interested in advertising with the VOC Nation Radio Network, whether on the website or across our syndicated network of podcasts? Contact VOCNation.com for advertising information for the possibility to save 40% on what you will spend on an ad.
Hey, it's me, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Net Carrier has many great products and services to increase your bottom line. Be sure to ask your Net Carrier representative about our hosted PBX. Call Net Carrier today for a free analysis of your phone bills. 877-255-7733. That's right, 877-255-7733. Call now.
Let's get it out.
It happens every morning. You watch Raw, and then you react to it. 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Every single Monday. The Raw Reaction. Worldwide. On the VOC Nation.
The most polarizing personalities worldwide. This is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
Diners, Nevada-style pub invites you to play the best tavern, keno, and video poker in Vegas. We just gave away over $444,000 in daily free play, with even more to come. It's not only great gaming that Snyder's Pub has, it's the best bar food and beer list to match our hospitality. Are you ready for some football? Drink Miller and ice-cold craft beer starting at just $2.50. Don't miss your chance to win 12 55-inch TVs, or win $100,000 in cash by drinking Svedka vodka. Steiner's, the Nevada-style pub at 8410 West Cheyenne, 1750 North Buffalo, and Las Vegas Boulevard and Windmill. Steiner's, I love this place!
Are you a fan of classic pro wrestling? Universal Wrestling Archives has a library of over 1,200 hours of pro wrestling action. The largest classic pro wrestling library after the WWE. See stars like Ric Flair, the Junkyard Dog, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, Dr. Death Steve Williams, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Fabulous Freebirds, and more. UWA provides DVD collections of episodes from Mid-South Wrestling, Power Pro Wrestling, and the Universal Wrestling Federation. There's also a special house show collection featuring rare wrestling footage only seen here. Visit www.universalwrestling.com or find them on Facebook and Twitter.
This is Becky Nova, your Candyland princess, and I want everyone to know that I love VOCNation.com.
Hey, how's it going? This is Amy Dumas, but you may know me as Lita. You're listening to the VOC Nation.
Listen up, Slapnuts. This is Jeff Jarrett, the king of the mountain and founder of Global Force Wrestling, and you're listening to In the Room Radio.
Okay. Bitchin', bustin', cussin'.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. We're back. This is In the Room on the VOC Nation Radio Network, VOCNation.com, TheBradyHicks.com, and Brady Hicks here. What an exciting, I know I say that every week, Kathie. What an exciting show this week. I think it'll be a good time. I really do. So many things going on in the news. But first of all, my name is Brady Hicks. I'm a writer for Pro Wrestling Illustrated, if you're not familiar with me. My co-host, as always, I'm joined by the always awesome Kathie Fitz. What's going on, Kathie?
Not much. How are you tonight, Brady?
I'm doing good. The weather's starting to turn cool. I'm not sure I like this.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Also joining us are our co-host, our other co-host, former WCW star, the one and only maestro of wrestling, the Papa, the Stro. What's going on, Stro?
Oh, great to be here. Falls upon us. SmackDown Live is kicking butt as we speak, and I'm still waiting for the GoFundMe page for TNA Impact.
You know, it's just a matter of time. Unfortunately, they need something by Friday, apparently. I definitely want to talk about tonight. There's a good chance that Vince McMahon could, maybe he will hold the fate of Impact Wrestling in his hands. I don't know. That was pretty bad, probably, but maybe bad. You know, maybe him, maybe Billy Corgan, maybe Dixie Carter will go out and rob a bank.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Kathie, I know of at least one wrestler who tried that. It's probably not a good idea. She probably shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Talk about a big payday. Let me give out the number real quick. Heidi Lee Morgan, by the way, former fantastic women's wrestler, actually fantastic all-around wrestler. Forget just being a woman, but you know, she was absolutely fantastic with WWE and with the NWA, and she held that ladies title and had that famous feud with Wendy Richter, and later on the feud with Alundra Blaze. Everybody got to remember Heidi Lee Morgan, and she'll be on in just a couple minutes' time right here on the show. Let me give out the number real quick, just in case anybody wants to get in touch with us here tonight. It is 914. Is that right? Yeah, 914. I was worried I was getting out my number there for a second, Kathie. 914-338. It's been that kind of a night. 914-338-1885. That is 1885. So not only do we have the prospect of maybe being down to two major U.S. companies again after Friday, we're also coming off a pretty decent WWE Raw branded pay-per-view in Clash of Champions. I mean, I don't think it was as good as Backlash, my own personal opinion, but I am curious what people thought about the show, and we can certainly talk about that tonight. Very topical. They've clearly made the consensus choice to kind of go away from Seth Rollins as the lead heel and Roman Reigns as the lead babyface, and if nothing else, I got to applaud them for trying something different. I really like Kevin Owens in that spot. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But certainly was an interesting show, Stro.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And to kick it off, we had a main event with Jericho and Owens with Enzo and Cass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know why Derek craps all over Enzo. I think he's great.
Every time he comes out, I get hysterical laughing.
Look when he dances.
Yeah.
And did you guys catch the somebody did a GIF of Jericho taking off his scarf and handing it to Owens, and then as soon as Jericho turns around, like Owens just kind of tosses it over his shoulder like he doesn't care.
Yeah.
What about that shoe that Owens did on Rollins?
Yeah, Rollins.
Hurting people. Wow.
Yeah, good stuff. And I know a lot of people watch the debates as well. I mean, if you want to talk about that, we can. To me, I don't know. I felt like politics needs a baby face. Badly. Badly.
It felt like watching Raw and SmackDown all over again. I mean, Trump had the SmackDown tie, and Hillary had the Raw dress.
It felt to me like when CM Punk was like technically a heel, but then like Kevin Nash came in to feud with him, and he was like supposed to be like a cooler heel, and he would like kind of tear CM Punk down. That's what the debates reminded me of.
I thought the debate with Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon was much better, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
definitely. And was I the only one, by the way, that felt absolutely terrible for Mick Foley the way she dressed him down? I felt so badly for Mick Foley. I really did. Talk about embarrassing. I mean, this is your show, and she's ripping him a new one right there on live television, supposedly.
She might as well kick him in the sunshine and get it over with.
Exactly. Well, I don't want to waste any time here. Real quick, let me give out the number once again, then we'll get our guest on because she's patiently waiting. 914-338-1885. I see we have a couple callers in the queue. We'll get to you guys as soon as Heidi Lee Morgan is done. But joining us on the line, and I'm very excited about this, Kathie, Stro. You guys know her pretty well. I was a huge fan growing up, and Heidi Lee Morgan, so happy to have you on the program tonight. How are you doing?
I am blessed. And how about you guys? How are you all doing? Hi, Heidi.
Hi,
How
Heidi.
you doing, Kathie? How you guys all doing out there?
We're doing great.
Oh, great.
You're doing awesome.
Great having you here.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited about this. I haven't slammed any heads in a while, though, so I don't have any of those interesting stories to tell you, but I would love to share some of the past, and I heard you talking about Mick Foley. I have a very interesting story to tell you about that in our lifting days. Doesn't have anything to do about the wrestling days, but we were on the road about that, if you'd like to hear one of those stories.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, years ago, you all know that Dominic DeNucci was his original trainer. You all know that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so back in the day, Dominic DeNucci had called me up, and we worked on a show going overseas. We had gone to Italy, Rome, Italy to be exact, and Tom Brandi, Mike Kalua, Preston, Shane Douglas, who else was on the card? Let me think. Mick Foley himself was on there, and we were all new. We were all basically Green Hornets making our way into the industry. Probably about a year and a half into the industry itself, actually. Myself, Mick Foley himself, Brandi, Mike. Nevertheless, we made our way over into Rome, Italy. And you guys all know that my background, as well as being a second-generation wrestler, I came through the bodybuilding industry, competing teenage division, which I crossed over into wrestling from that. So I have a very strong basis of the bodybuilding, powerlifting under my belt. And I needed that because of my size back then. There weren't too many small women in the industry. So that was always my first love. So in between the shows that we were doing, the wrestling matches that we were doing, and I was wrestling Olympia, who was the original Glow Girl out on the West Coast. She was my competition over there. We were training at one of the local gyms in Rome, and Mick Foley was doing deadlifts, and he had 145 pounds that he was doing. So I, of course, was doing back, and I was done warming up, and I come over there, and I said, Mick, do you mind if I jump in with you? And he's like, oh, no, not a problem, Heidi. It's okay. You can jump in with us, with me. And I said, good. And he bends over, and he's getting ready to take off the 45-pound plate. And I'm like, and it was 135 pounds, excuse me. And I said, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I'm going to take it off. And I'm like, why? And he says, well, you know. And I said, no, I don't know why. And he says, well, so you can use the bar. And I'm like, no, Mick, that's what I warm up with. He's like, really? And I said, yeah. So I go over and put my hands in the position, and I rep out 15 reps. And he looks at me and said, well, go ahead, do your set. He said, oh, no, I'm done. And I said, oh, okay. And I didn't think anything of it. So years go on, and I'm saying about maybe 5 years go down the line, because now you have to work your way into the other industries. Turner Broadcasting buys out NWA. They become WCW, yada, yada. And, of course, the people you begin your adventure with, you always wind up passing your trails pass again. And who do I run into? I run into Mick Foley in the back dressing room with Jim Cornette. And Jim Cornette and me are laughing and giggling and ha-ha, he. And Mick Foley says, Jim, you want to know why I'm a fat, blubbering slob? And Jim Cornette says, well, yes, Mick, I would love to know why you're a fat, blubbering slob. And he says, you see this little girl right here? And I'm looking at him like, what the hell did I do now? Because I was always lame for something. And Jim's like, Heidi? And you know how Jim has those eyebrows that make that certain look, if you know Jim Cornette.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, this ought to be good. And Jim's like, yeah, what did she do? And he says, she's the reason why I don't lift. And I'm like, really? And then he tells the story of Rome. And I said, you got to be kidding me. He's like, no, you embarrassed me. He's like, that was my max lift. I only did 2 reps, and you did 15. And I'm like, oh, my God, I am so sorry. I had no clue. So, and then, of course, years beyond that, I meet his wife. We're on a trip in Aruba, Colette, and he said, Colette, she's the reason I don't lift anymore. That's why I hate lifting weights, because of this little girl right here.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah, that was
wow.
a very fond memory, yeah.
Oh,
good guy,
awesome.
though. Mick Foley's a good guy. Awesome person.
He sure is.
But, yeah, so that's one of the behind-the-scenes stories, not so much a ring story. But that's one of my fond memories of being on the road.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's funny. I always remember you being very, very strong in the ring. Did you kind of have that reputation in locker rooms as being like as strong as a lot of the guys?
Yeah, I actually did, which that actually helped me in a lot of ways, because I think one of the things was when I first entered the industry, I had to work harder to prove myself because of my size and the fact sometimes people think because you're second generation, a lot of people have this misconception, oh, they have it handed to them because he's a second generation and, so it was handed to him, or she's second generation, it was handed to him. No. Sometimes what happens when you're second generation, it's harder because you have to prove yourself, because sometimes the person before you was either maybe really extremely well known, or maybe they weren't well known, and so they might have still been liked, but you have to work harder because people do think it's handed to you. Dwayne Johnson worked very hard for his spot. Orton's son worked very hard for his spot. All these people, you have to have the talent. It's not just handed to you. The Savage family, Devon, these people, the Harts, they all have the talent. Does it help to have the family reputation? Most definitely. But there's big shoes that a lot of them have to fill with that name. So if they can't walk it, or flip it, or toss it, or slam it, what good is that name going to be if they cannot follow through? So with my size back in the 80s, because as you all, I mean, the women are tiny now, so God bless them. Right now would be a perfect time for me to be in it if I was 30 years younger, and I'm not, and that it's all well, good, and fine. But I do believe the generation I was in was also a perfect time because we were so blessed and so fortunate because we were able to put a price on what we wanted financially, and we got it. We were able to get magazine time where the young ladies today are not able to get the magazine time unless they are with WWF. We were so fortunate because we were able to get that. We weren't over-flooded with internet coverage or time. So those of us that were fortunate to get with NWA, AWA, WCW, or any other promotion, NWF, WCW, WOW, Tiger, I was so blessed on working with so many different organizations that had television time back in that era. And I was fortunate enough to be on TV, that helps me to put a price on my name, that you'll forgive me, it made me be a little bit bitchy. No, this is what I want. And if you're not going to pay me, then I'm not going to go. Whereas the young ladies today, from what I've been told by the young ladies, they can't even do that. They're traveling 5 hours for $20 and have to rely on picture sales. And I'm sorry, I broke my back in 1997 on December 20th in a wrestling match, and it cost me $10,000. So these young ladies and gentlemen, not just the women, the gentlemen of this generation, you're going to go travel, 4 or 5 hours, take a chance, break your back, arm, neck, wrist, whatever it is. It's going to cost you $3,000 to $10,000 for $20 for the love of the sport. And I mean nothing by it. Please don't take any criticism by it. I understand loving the sport because I loved my sport. So my heart breaks for the competitors of today in the industry because of that. So I get it. So I appreciate the generation I was in. I appreciate the young ladies of today. I don't think they get enough credit for today. I do get, oh, my God, they don't wrestle like you guys did. It's all TNA. No. Listen, I was considered I was and I'm not boasting, I was very talented, but I was also, I was the last of the Mohicans from Moeller School, and the bottom line was I was out of the box because I did not wear wrestling gear with the bottom of my wrestling gear with the leotards tied around my thighs. I wore them high. I wore my belly button cut open. I showed skin. I wore G-string with the spandex under. And that was very risque back in my generation. So I did boundaries. I broke boundaries that I was willing to take that risk. So some of the women I wrestled with that was from the old school was like, really, Heidi, come on, you wrestle like us. What the hell is your problem? And it's like, yeah, I do wrestle like you guys, and I love the way we wrestle. But we're in this generation, we can be sexy and wrestle. And I never consider myself sexy. I mean, Kathie will tell you that. Did you ever see me blow kisses at the camera? No, I blew body. I always did muscle poses because I was never sexy. Oh, my God, I could never be sexy. Even to this day, I could never be sexy. I'm like, no, let me put you in a headlock, please. But for me to be sexy, no. So, the women of today are tiny and small and built, and they shouldn't be ashamed of that. I was tiny for my generation, so I had to work harder. And some of the women that were larger thought that they could take advantage of that. So when they saw that they couldn't take advantage of that, and I knew my shit because I was trained by the best women in the industry, but then I sparred with men, and then my sparring partner was Artie Palmer, and he was up on self-defense, mixed martial arts, introduced me to Ultimate Fighting 30 years prior to, a self-defense. We worked with New Jersey State Police back in the 80s. So I got into all of that stuff where I really wanted to learn how to protect myself, and I did. So the girls in the back room knew that I could back up my shit, and I did. But I didn't. I think maybe out of my whole 20 years of my career, there were 5 times that I had to do that. So the respect followed me, and with that, it's just that it follows you, it precedes you. Just like Judy Martin, it followed her. Leilani Kai, it followed her. You know, there's certain women that the respect just automatically followed them because they earned it. You know, it was something that they earned, and I just believe that, you know, and it's nice when I run into these women. It is so nice that even though they kicked my ass, it was earned. You know, and so there was never an issue. There was never an issue.
Oh, that's awesome. Are there any women that you see either on TV or maybe at independent shows or through your school or whatever? Are there any women that you see that think like, man, if they could go back 25, 30 years, they would really be a top woman?
Let me see. There's a couple of young ladies last year? Because I might do like 4 personal appearances a year. Okay. There was one show I was on. Oh gosh. You know who really impresses me? Oh gosh. Oh, she's right on the tip of my tongue, and she's my Facebook friend. What the hell? Her dad's a wrestler. Oh, come on, guys, help me. Blanchard.
Tessa. Oh, Tessa.
You
Tessa,
see?
Yes.
Yeah, you see
That's,
her work.
yeah, Tully's daughter.
You see her work? Mm-hmm. Do you see her work? Have you seen her matches?
Very familiar. Yeah, we're all very familiar with her.
She's phenomenal. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit what anyone says. The young lady's phenomenal. I know she's young. She's like, what? She's 20 now? 21. She's my daughter's age. I gave birth to the child.
Yeah.
There she is. She's my daughter's age. And I mean, she's phenomenal. I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is she going to be when she's 27 years old? Because normally, like, WWE does not really touch you until you are molded and scolded. They want you to have 3 to 5, at least 5 years in before they're actually really going to use you. But when I saw her on the card, I'm thinking to myself, I said, how old are you? And at the time, she was 19. And I said, Jesus Christ, you're my daughter's age. And that's the age I was when I started. And I thought to myself, and then she told me her name. I'm like, oh, okay, there you go. That explains everything. You know, but, I mean, again, she still has to prove herself because just because it's your dad doesn't mean anything. But I'm thinking to myself, if she keeps her nose clean, doesn't do anything stupid, because you know the reputation all of us wrestlers have, you know, I pray that this child keeps herself clean, because I would love to see her make it to that point where she can make it to that point, keeping herself clean where she makes it to that, because, you know, that's the ultimate, making it there. You know, if she can make it there, keeping herself clean. Because she was good. She was really, really, so she impressed me. Yeah. And the other one is Michaels. She's my friend on Facebook, too. She goes as an Indian gimmick from Merlin's, and I think that she's always overlooked as well. And she wrestles Blanchard quite a bit. Oh, God. Kathie, come on, I know you know her. She's real pretty. She's African-American looking.
Renee Michelle?
Michelle, yeah.
Renee Michelle, yes.
Oh, God, I forget her name. You know what? I can't believe this. But she,
that is it, I think. Renee Michelle.
Renee Michelle.
Yes,
Renee Michelle. Now, I saw 6 matches of hers. Some, again, needs polishing. Now, understanding, you're talking about someone that's, I've been around, I see potential. So, again, I'm not looking at the outfit, people. Let's not talk about outfits. we're talking about talent. You guys got to get past the outfits and the TNA.
I know.
What I saw
know.
out of those
I'm
five matches that I watched, I actually saw talent. I always, like Ray Stevens always said, we remember Ray Stevens, right? Ray Stevens was like bumps. If people take clean bumps, they're going to be good wrestlers. She took clean bumps. They weren't sloppy. They weren't like she was drunk, hitting the map. They were nice. They were clean. They were crisp. They were hard. Her maneuvers were pretty, and depending upon who she had worked, made the match really nice. And there was the one young lady she worked, Tessa. She worked her, Tessa, thank you, Tessa. She worked Tessa. Those two were beautiful. They absolutely were like chemistry in the ring together. And then the other young lady was from Pittsburgh area, and I didn't catch her name, but they had a decent match. And this is terrible because it's really a shame that I've been out of the loop. But that was a pretty good match between them. And then there was another young lady that, it just didn't fly. And it goes to show you with whoever they've been trained by, it makes a difference. And it's just like me. Back in the day, it all depends on who I worked. You know, some people made me look better and some people made me look worse, and it's dancing. Either you're going to have a good match with a person or the match is going to suck. That's what it boils down to. Win or lose. It's going to either be a good match or it's going to be a bad match.
And I just wanted to mention in reference to Tessa Blanchard, a lot of people don't even realize this. I know WWE's already looking at her and stuff. Not only is
she's
her
done
dad,
she's done a couple of black outs for them, right?
Yeah.
She's done quite a few.
Yeah,
not only is her dad Tully Blanchard, but her stepfather is Magnum TA. I don't even think a lot of people realize that. So she's getting it from two different sides.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that at all. Yeah, she didn't tell me that. She just
and she's also
told me
done
who
a shot for NXT also.
Yeah, wow.
What's
no,
that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Heidi Lee, you've had quite a pedigree yourself. What I learned is that you actually started at the age of 10 years old, and that's pretty unique in and of itself as a valet. What was it like being that young, accompanying your dad to the ring?
Honestly, when I was little, I did big dance class. So I was used to doing recitals. And we grew up with my dad doing the wrestling shows, so we were always used to being at the wrestling shows. So when I was 10 and he was doing the Tully McTavish tag team gimmick, and he asked me, did I want to go out to the ring with him as his valet and do the dance? And I was just like, I'm like, oh, I get to entertain, I get to dance. And I'm like, yes, I'll do that, Dad. Sure. I was very excited. So to me, I was doing something at the time. I didn't even think of the wrestling. I was thinking I got to do my dancing because at the time I was doing tap, jazz, and ballet. So I got to go to my dance class 3 days a week and go tell my classmates, I got to go with my dad and I got to dance, and this was the dance we did this weekend. So I got to do my entertaining. I didn't have to wait till May at our recital.
That's awesome.
So for me, I thought I was hot poop. I was a cocky little kid. I was very proud. And to me, it was an honor to actually go out to the ring, and I thought it was really, really cool. And it gave me more of an itch to actually want to be in front of a crowd more and more and more because of that.
No, that's really cool. Now, just kind of looking back on your career, I mean, you've had so many different experiences between the NWA and the stuff I remember in particular because I was a fan at the time, the stuff that you did in the WWF with the Lunder Blaze when they were kind of kickstarting their women's division again. Is there a time period that you look back on and you think like, man, like this was my favorite time to be involved in wrestling?
There's definitely been peaks. There's peaks and valleys and highs and lows. Right before WWF had called, or WWE had called, because that's when they were doing the transformation. They were just getting ready to switch over because of a lawsuit, because of wildlife. And so, and then they were just doing the Monday Night Raw. So everything was brand new and kickstarting, and they had, I believe, a year into the Monday Night Raw. At that point in time, I was contemplating on getting out of the industry because LPWA, that was the largest female organization in the United States that had all of the legitimately, and Kathie knows what I'm talking about here, all the legitimately best, and when I say the best, the cream of the crop female wrestlers ever in the United States working. And that did not go as expected. I believe all the women lost hope and were like, now what are we going to do? And at that point of my career, I had lost hope. And next thing, I'm going to shoot straight with you guys how this all went down, because I don't really think people know how the true story went. So how this all went down was I get a phone call from J.J. Dillon. And J.J. Dillon explains to me that, Monday Night Raw wants to have a women's championship bout. And they originally, I was going to be one of the women. They were going to have, and I had to wrestle 4 matches. And he said, and then I was going to wrestle Misty. Misty was going to beat me. And then Misty would go against the Lunder Blaze, and then Misty would lose against the Lunder Blaze. He said the problem is Misty does not want to take a fall against the Lunder Blaze. And I said, well, how much are you paying? And he told me, and I'm like, wow, really? That's great. So what's the issue? Like, not even the independents are paying anybody that price to take a fall. So what's the big idea? It's the same, like if you're getting paid that type of money to take a fall for somebody, what's the big deal? And he says, well, she's never taken a fall for anybody, and she doesn't want her reputation tarnished. I'm like, oh my God, like really? I'm sorry, I'm going to shoot straight. Everybody that knows this industry knows that it's entertainment and there's a storyline. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. And I said, so why me? I said, so why me? And I said, why not any of these other girls that you just spoke of? Because they didn't call me to contact these girls. They contacted those girls. I had no connect. Like, I knew the girls, but WWF, as you know, they contact people individually. They don't say, oh, you contact them. They make the contacts. I said, so why me and not any of these other girls take the fall against her? And they said, because you come highly recommended and Alundra thinks the world of you. And I thought, wow, okay, well, for somebody in that caliber, her and I have a long history together anyhow. We, fought for years with AWA, so there was a rivalry always going on anyhow. And I thought, okay, all right, for that type of money, as long as I get to do what I can do and it's not edited out, I don't have a problem. But if it's edited out, I won't be back. I'm sorry, I won't be back and I don't want to look like it's Chop Chop. Do not make me look like Chop Chop because we know how WWF can make that look. I said, do not make me look like Chop Chop, and I will be glad to do it. It is what it is, and somebody's got to take a fall. We can't all be a belt holder. I get it. I totally get it. And you know what? We all put our pants on the same way, and I got everything paid for, and I came out ahead a little bit better. So it is what it is, And so I go, and I was called in, and we actually worked like 3 weeks in a row doing different shots for them, which now they're seeing that I can work a little bit more. And then we go for the final, and I go and I work against her and, do my job, and everything went well. And now that the job is done, now Misty goes, and she's calling the office, blowing their phone up, putting in their ear that her and Alundra should be tag team partners. And next thing I know, Alundra comes to me, and she says, did you know that she's on the phone trying to get us to be tag team partners? And I said, no, it is what it is. And she's like, no. I said to them, if you were willing to take a fall on national television, why should somebody else come in and take your spot? She wasn't willing to take a fall when she was the first person chosen. Why should she get that opportunity when you were willing to? And that's how that all came out to play. So sometimes taking a fall, might be more beneficial than saying I'm too proud, and that's how it all came out to pass, and it is what it is, and I got paid very well for that, so sometimes doing a job, people can say what the hell they want, and I don't give a shit because I got paid very good to take jobs for them. And then when they would call me up, I'm like, what are you paying me? You will take care of my hotel? Yes, Heidi. You will take care of my car? Yes, Heidi. And I had no issues. And sometimes some of the young ladies there would get, and she's like, you know what? I said, listen, you signed the contract. I'm freelancing. Not my problem. Now, if you want to get pins, you can have these nice little perks, So her and I would play around all the time with shit like that. But if you love what you do, you can make anybody look good. You can wrestle a pill and make them look good. And the storyline is phenomenal, and how it comes out is what that's the anticipation. And I'm shooting real with you. That's what happened. The hardest part here was we were supposed to do, and I don't think many people know this either, one of the saddest but most exciting times of my life and career for wrestling was with them also. My husband proposed to me in July of 94. We brought in the new year. We bring in the new year of 94, December of 94 going into 95. We were supposed to do the Royal Rumble of January of 95. And Ann calls me from WWE and says, we got the plane tickets, blah, 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 blah. This is what's going to go on. And we were going to be dubbed the tag team champions, me and Alundra. This was the hard part because you asked me highs and lows. This was my lowest part of my career, but highest part of my personal life because I always wanted a little girl. I had to decline because I found out that week I was pregnant. And the office was like, they were so upset. They're like, what do you mean you're pregnant? They're like, no, Heidi, you knew that you guys were going to be dubbed the champions. You knew for Royal Rumble. You can't just go. So they're trying to work around how can we do this where you guys go in, have the tag team match, we'll W champions. Then, you know, February comes, you lose the belt, and, you know, give it to Luna and Bull. And I had to make a decision. And I trusted Bull in the ring. I knew Bull would be okay. I knew I wouldn't take any belly bumps if it was her. I couldn't trust Luna because Luna, although a very talented wrestler, she was like a light switch. And
right.
I couldn't take a chance and have her throw a kick and her kick my stomach. And because they're like, listen, we'll keep you safe, we'll do this. And I'm like, I can't take that chance, you know, because I was always told I would never get pregnant. This, you know, it was a high-risk pregnancy in the first place. I was told I couldn't have babies. And I had to make a decision. And I'm like, it broke my heart. I was at the pinnacle of my career. And, you know, I had to make a choice. And I'm like, what do? Do I give something up that I've worked so hard for? Or do I keep, you know, do I take what I've always wanted, that I've prayed for since I was 18 years old, which was I wanted to have a baby girl. And I didn't know at that point in time I was going to have a baby girl, you know, but I couldn't take a chance. So I put my faith in God, and I had to literally bow out gracefully, and it was the hardest thing to do. And I just thought to myself, this child better come out to be the best child, because I swear to God, I will beat her ass.
Future tag team champion. Right.
And she is, thank you, Jesus. She is such a good kid. I'll take the eye rolls and the hair flips and the shoulder rolls and that little attitude. But she has been the best decision I have ever made. But, I mean, that was probably the lowest of my career that I had to make that decision. But we were supposed to be dubbed the tag team champions at that Royal Rumble of 1995. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was hard. That was very, very hard.
Your daughter is an absolute doll.
She is, and you know, Kathie, you absolutely know. So I think I made the right choice. And I say to her, I said, you realize what I gave up, right? You're my Mercedes, you're the mansion, you're all those WrestleManias. yeah, Mom, I know. But, you know, I would do it all over again. I gave up the one thing I loved, which was my wrestling career, for her. Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that, but I did. I absolutely did. And it was hard. And Alundra and I kept in contact all those years because of that. You know, because she's like, I admire you so much, because there's not too many women that would have done that. They would have, in a heartbeat, would have just said, screw it, my career, I've worked hard, and I'm doing this. You know, and she says, and I commend you, because, and look, we only had one. So what the hell would have happened if I would have taken the other route? You know what I mean? So I'm extremely grateful I did what I did. You know?
That's beautiful.
That's
all.
Yeah.
What a great story. That really is. First of all, it's a shame that so many women have to make that decision, because the prime of your career a lot of times kind of
you don't know how that sucks.
With that. I mean, it sucks.
That's
a shame.
The one nice thing I think with the Bella, because listen, I'm a mark. I'm not even gonna lie. My daughter is into the Bella show.
Right. Well,
really,
I am too.
Into a mark. You know, watch it. So anyhow, with the one, no, I haven't watched it in quite some time. I think it was last summer or whenever that it was on, or in the wintertime that it was on. With the women of WWE, you know, the one that was she pregnant or something like that? And I thought, you know, now how's she going to deal with this? Because, I mean, I know what I had to do, but back then it was a different entity. It was like you got pregnant, you had to, like, either you got pregnant and you got out, or the terrible, they aborted, and I don't like to say that word, and there for the grace of God go anybody. I will never ever sit in judgment of any woman doing that. But I mean, it's just like to see the young lady that was pregnant, trying to work through it. And like I said, I didn't finish watching what was going on, or was she pregnant or was she not pregnant. I thought it was wonderful that they were touching on those topics on how they're going to make it through, because how do you make it through and stay in that career, because to take a bump, it's not the same as lifting weights. You can exercise. Unless you're extremely healthy, I guess. I was a high-risk pregnancy, so who knows? I don't know. Everyone's different. But, yeah. So what type of questions you guys got? What would you like to know? I'm an open book. Am I coming out of retirement? Hell to the no, unless it is managing or emceeing. I am not taking any more bumps. I've had too many war wounds. I just had 2 shoulder surgeries this past summer, and I'm still going through therapy on it. So, no, I will not be wrestling anytime soon. Do I play around and sparring? Yeah.
The amount of injuries that you've sustained it's amazing to think about, because I think a lot of wrestlers go their career and don't have that many. And I know a lot of people get hurt, and it's a tough sport and everything. I'm looking back on your time, you mentioned the LPWA and the AWA, and I remember all that stuff fondly. Was there I'm trying to think of how to say it, animosity maybe a little bit of anger at the way that Glow was presented at that time compared to what you guys were doing?
Yes. Yeah, I will say, yeah. Glow had a wonderful idea, presented it wrong. You don't make women look stupid. If they had, here's the thing, wonderful gimmicks, the women were beautiful. They needed a better person who taught them to wrestle. Their bumps were shitty, right or wrong. Let's be honest. It goes back to bumps. You don't take a bump where it looks like you're friggin' drunk. Okay? Sorry. The gimmicks, absolutely phenomenal. I will give them A+ for the gimmicks. Their interviewing, A+ on their interviewing. I will give them that. Their beauty, their looks, all of that, I will give them A+. But when it came to whoever the hell was their teacher on learning how to take bumps, holds, combinations, they friggin' sucked. And I'm sorry, by the time that they did finally get a good trainer in there, it was too late, because anybody that knows wrestling, if you're taught bad habits initially, it's very hard to break. Very, very hard to break. So a lot of us female wrestlers we were very offended, because we felt like we were slighted. It's like, really? Like, how come you didn't come and check us out? Or I know a couple of the female wrestlers sent their information, and it's like they just laughed at them. It's like, why would you disrespect some of these women that have been in it forever? Like, they could be literally the instructors. If you don't want to use them because they're not your caliber on looks, then you at least use them as your instructors. They have a lot to offer to the table, to the ladies. Come on. Use them as your teachers. So that was the animosity that was there, because the real women wrestlers that had put in their dues, that got the crap beat out of them, they were offended by that. So that's where that animosity came in at.
Well, our own Kathie can tell us as well as anyone how physical it is to train under Heidi Lee Morgan. Kathie came back one night.
Oh, yeah.
Telling us all about it.
Well, that wasn't wrestling. That was our boot camp.
That was the boot camp. But no, Heidi, I don't know if you remember when Joel Goodhart was trying to start his women's type of wrestling.
Mhm.
You were training me for a while.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that, Kathie.
I have never felt so sore in my life.
Right.
That's when I
the
begged
bump.
Joel, could I be the referee?
Right.
Because
And you don't want to hear it?
between Heidi and Stevie Richards, oh my
I guess
Lord,
Stevie Richards,
I was hurting.
Yeah.
And then
Well, because it's
Heidi's
the bump.
boot camp, and Heidi's boot camp, trust me, between her and her husband Archie, it's like, let's go, 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 go. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I'm too old for this.
No, you're never too old. Never too old. But going back to the wrestling, when we did train people, the worst thing is the bumps. It's the bumps. The bumps is the hardest thing to master. If you can master the bumps and make it through that, then the combinations are easy peasy. You just need to be flexible for the combinations. It's just like mixed martial arts or jiu-jitsu. If you're flexible and you can get in and out, it's easy peasy. And then you just have to have a good memorization on the holds and maneuvers and the spots. That's all. And that comes. Everything comes in time. But, yeah, and it's remembering. I mean, you go to do, you go to take a back bump, you hit your head one too many times, yeah, you're going to remember to tuck your chin. But it hurts. Your neck winds up hurting because of the constant tucking, Yeah. But you know what? There's so many people that have been in the industry for a while that might not have boo-boos. And then you have other ones like I just genetically, my family has degenerative disc disease. So that doesn't help me out, which hence, I have a lot of war wounds between the wrestling. I did gymnastics, and I've played hard. So when you play hard, you're going to have ramifications. So it just it happens. And I'm just one of these people. I don't believe in taking narcotics to cover up the pain. I'm like, listen, fix it, and let's move on. And so yeah, I think everything in my body is just about been fixed, except for my hips, and knock on wood, I don't have to have them fixed. My husband's like, that's it, no more surgeries, you're done. You're the bionic woman now, But I will say the shoulder surgery is the worst out of all of them because the recovery time is definitely a lot longer than I anticipated. I was expecting to be lifting weights by now, and no, it ain't happening. I'm still doing range of motion, which really stinks, but it is what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Worse than the back?
Yeah. Worse than
the back there, Heidi?
Worse than the back. Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because I had, my rotator cuffs were ripped on both sides. And so they put 2 anchors in. Yeah, they put 2 anchors in both of the shoulders. And my right one was done August 9th. And, and then the left one was done in July. So the left one's coming along really, really good, but the right one is just the range of motion is really stinking. It's just like doing normal stuff. It's not where I want it to be. It's not where I want it to be. I can't even do a plank, and it's like my abs are my favorite body part. I'm like, are you kidding me? I can't even do my planks to do that. So thank God my clients, because I'm a personal trainer, thank God I'm very good with verbal visualization, so I can give good descriptions. And my clients are like, how do you do that? You haven't been able to, and you still kick our asses with our workouts. And I said, and that's what you pay me for, Thank God that I have my mouth and that I can, illustrate verbally what they need to do, But let me see. LPWA days, we had the best women there at that time. And I tell you what, the exposure that we were getting with the LPWA days was phenomenal too, if you remember that, we had some awesome women there, Black Venus, Bad, Black, and Beautiful, they were called. They were awesome. Of course, Judy and Leilani Martin. Judy Martin, Leilani Kai. I mean, they're just phenomenal. Of course, Alundra, she went as Medusa. I always thought she was awesome. Who else? Oh, my God. Misty, Kat, the Nasty Girls, Kat and Linda. Rusty the Fox, another one who's phenomenal. The Beast. Oh, my gosh. There's just so many talented women in one place that it was just incredible. And Laughlin out in Vegas. I mean, Laughlin out in Nevada. They always had a full house. I mean, granted that it was, because that if you were there staying, they would give comp tickets and stuff. But we always had nice audiences that would come, and we had just as many children that would come as we would the adults. So it was always nice to have that type of a crowd coming out, So, but any other questions? Which would you like to know?
I'm sorry?
What would you like to know?
What would I like to know? Well, you mentioned Ringmasters Wrestling Squad. I'd love to hear about it.
Ringmasters blah. All right, repeat.
It was Joel and them.
Oh, Joel. Oh, it's Joel. Oh, my God. Well, Kathie knows. Joel goes back when I first came home from Moeller School. Joel was very, very good to me. And so Joel was trying, and Joel, you guys know, was one of the original ECW. So Joel, I would do a lot of shows for Joel, and then Joel wanted to have his own little Harlem of girls to work on his card. So he asked me if I would help train them. And Joel was good to me, so I'm like, yes, Joel, I will help train your girls for your show. And so I would go over to Philly. It was once a week. I would go over there, and I would help work with the girls that he had on his card. And what else did I do? Jesus, Joel. Oh, God, Joel. I worked with him for a long time, a very long time. Always would do his radio shows when he would have stuff go on. Kathy? I mean, he was always good to me. I have nothing bad to say about that man. He was always good. Always very entertaining, Always had, his vision for wrestling, honestly, for that period in time was ahead of, he could always, he had a good mind for promoting or promotional, seeing a vision and opening it up. Do you know what does that make sense? Does that sound foggy? He would he would. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. He just had a good format on. He knew what the audience wanted. That's what I'm trying to say. He knew what the fans wanted, and he would try to please the fans. And he knew it. Even if, sometimes I would look at him like, no, Joel, I'm not doing that. He's like, yeah, I know you're not. That's why I want you to train them, because they will. I don't do that type of shit, Joel. He's like, I know, Heidi, you wrestle, but people like me, I know. I show muscles, Joel. I show muscles, But it's like he knew what the fans wanted, and honestly, that's why ECW went so berserk and did so well, even though it was so extreme, because of the fact that that's what people in that area wanted. And honestly, it took off like wildflowers, because it was different and people wanted something different. They wanted to see people, being snatched onto tables and being dropped from the ceiling. And, because they were tired of seeing cartoon characters being that happening too, and they just couldn't believe that real people were doing stuff like that, you know? So, I mean, now it's like, oh, yeah, well, we've seen that, you know, but back then it was unheard of. And he brought that to the forefront because he knew that's what people wanted. You know, he's one of the forerunners of doing that stuff, you know, so he actually has a lot to do with that. You know, if anyone does a documentary on, like, the history of wrestling, you know, he needs to be put in that category on the visualization or no, that's wrong, on, you know, what people wanted, because he could see that. He knew what they wanted, you know, and he brought it to what they wanted, you know. So he had a big part to do with that in the Philadelphia area. I mean, I don't know if they were doing that anywhere else in the United States, but on the East Coast here, it was unheard of. You know, it really, truly was. So he was the first, you know, that was actually doing that. And then it just took off, you know. So he needs, recognition needs to be brought to him because of that. But, yeah, Joel was always good to me. So, and like I said, like, he knew I wasn't a teenage person, but I was training the girls so that way he could have, because he knew I didn't, and I knew. I mean, and I was never offended by it. If he wanted real wrestling, what I referred to as real wrestling, he would call, you know. But I just wasn't into the smutty, as I refer to it, wrestling, because that's just not me.
Sure.
You know, that just was not me. And he knew that he could make extra money off of that type of wrestling. And you know what? I probably could have made more money myself at certain points of my career, you know. But I just couldn't do that type of stuff. So.
Oh, man. Well, Heidi,
yes.
you've given almost an hour, and we're up against the commercial break. I hate to let you go. I mean, we'll have to schedule a part two sometime. This has been fantastic.
I went really quick. That's as bad as the debate last night. That 90 minutes went really fast, too.
Oh, my God. To me, that felt like about 3 days. Like, I feel like I'm still watching it.
Do you really? Oh, my God. I thought it flew by.
This went fast for me. If people want to kind of keep track of what I mean, you still have stuff going on, right? If people want to follow you, you have the social media going, right?
Listen, I am on Facebook. I do have a Heidi Lee wrestling page, but honestly, I don't put anything on it because we have a Forever Fit personal trainers business where my husband and I do personal training, but I do have Heidi Lee Morgan DeBartolomeo's Facebook page. Now, here's the thing. If you hit me up as a friend request, do not put anything stupid, sexual, or anything like that, or I will delete you automatically because this is my personal life. But we do put our business stuff up on there. I have pictures that you can purchase. That is on my wrestling page. If you're interested in buying pictures, they're there. And we do, like I said, right now I'm running we're doing a boot camp that we run Wednesdays and Fridays, and I just launched a mission condition for kids with they get to work out with parents, and I start that October 11th. So if anybody's in the Millville, Vineland area, it's limited space only, and they can check me out on my Facebook page. So, and I have 12 years experience working with children as a physical education teacher. So, if anybody's interested, that's what I do for a living, and I do occasionally personal appearances. So, I'm still around, and I'm still alive and kicking. I'm still ornery as ever, and I'm still pulling practical jokes on somebody. So that's what keeps me young at heart.
Well, you know, it's actually funny. You mentioned being a gym teacher. You actually taught one of our old colleagues here at the VOC Nation, Albert AC Smooth. He's a good friend of mine.
Yes. He was a very good student too.
I'll bet.
He was.
Was he
Is
creepy?
He there?
Was
Is
he
he
creepy?
There now? No, he
I'm
was
sorry?
never creepy. He was very
I'm only kidding.
respectful.
Such a nice guy.
very,
Actually,
very
I miss him. He moved to like Tampa, and I never see him anymore. But
he is in Tampa. Okay, because I know that he flip flops. I know that he one time he was in Tampa, then he came back. So I know he's all over the place. So yes, but
yeah.
I did. I taught him for several years. Him and his sister both. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, Heidi,
well, listen,
before
guys.
before. Sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry, that was my fault. I think there was a delay on the line there. Heidi, before we let you go, would you be able to record something that we could play at the beginning of the show?
Sure.
Okay. Well, the name of the show is In the Room. I mean, however you want to craft it, just kind of say who you are, cut a little promo maybe, something that we can play at the beginning.
All right.
Whenever
so
you're ready.
All right. So what is it now? What am I going?
Okay. The name of the show is In the Room.
Is In the Room.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yes, In the Room.
Okay, In the Room. The name of the show is In the Room. Okay.
Yes.
And what time? What time does the show start? 9:15 on Tuesday evening.
It starts at 9.
At 9. Okay.
9 o'clock. Yeah.
9 p.m.
Mhm.
Are you there? Okay, 9 p.m.
Yes.
Tuesday evenings. Okay, In the Room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me know when you want me to start.
Okay, you're good whenever.
This is Heidi Lee Morgan, retired pro wrestler, and I am in the room. So I suggest, if you don't want your head slammed against the wall, that you too listen on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Ciao, baby.
Well, you convinced me. Thank you. That was great, Heidi. We'll definitely have to schedule a round 2. I can't believe an hour went by. It was amazing.
Listen, if you want some really funny stories that behind the scenes, give me a call. I'll tell you some behind the scenes funny stories.
We'll do that. Thank you so much,
Europe
Heidi.
Trip on who I Vaseline their doorknobs down.
All
right, guys. You have a great
We'll leave that
night.
as a little teaser. We'll leave that as a teaser for next time.
Okay.
Thank you so
blessed,
much,
and
Heidi.
everybody stay
Take
safe.
care.
Thank you, Heidi.
All
All right.
right. Heidi Lee Morgan, everybody. What an accomplished. My God. And such a great interview. All right. We're well overdue for the break, and I apologize about that, guys. Let me give out the number real quick: 914-338-1885. That's 1885. In the Room on the VOC Nation Radio Network. We'll be back in 3 minutes' time, and we'll be joined by Derek as well as the rest of us here. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. So, lots of callers and stuff. Should be a good time.
Live from the In the Room studios located in the Net Carrier Enclave. This is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
Voice of Choice Wrestling Nation.
Heard worldwide.
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 Worldwide, baby. Worldwide, man.
Worldwide.
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 Worldwide. En el mundo todo.
Worldwide.
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 Worldwide. On VOCNation.com.
You need dating and relationship advice, and we're the ladies to give that to you, and a whole lot more. That dating show with Sports X Michelle and Pamela Michelle, right here on VOC Nation.
This is phenomenal one. AJ Styles.
Ben Bodie, the artist formerly known as
This is Eugene.
This is Chris Jericho.
This is Sci-Fi's original vampire, Kevin Thorne.
Hey guys, this is Serena D.
This is Madison Rain.
This is A-double Austin Aries, the hardcore icon. Incredible. Hey, this is Olympic gold medalist and TNA superstar Kurt Angle. And
You are listening to In the Room.
The best talk show that you can hear.
Tuesday night, 9, 8 Central, VOCNation.com, TheBradyHicks.com, breaking down all that's going on in wrestling today.
It's not easy being in IT today. Data is growing exponentially, technology is changing at an accelerating pace, and the consequences of unplanned downtime are more serious than ever. StoragePipe helps eliminate these risks by automating all the data protection and disaster recovery for your laptops, servers, and virtual systems through a single provider. StoragePipe can help you free up more time, recover faster, and improve the reliability of your backup process. Visit StoragePipe.com.
Looking for a DJ? Looking for someone to host your event? Then look no further. Philadelphia's hottest DJ and host, the Voice of Choice. The Voice of Choice has hosted the hottest events in the tri-state area. Book the Voice of Choice for all your karaoke, conventions, and parties. Go to www.vocnation.com for more information or email the Voice of Choice at voc@vocnation.com.
Hey guys, remember when WCW was awesome?
Remember when WCW was on? I do. I was there. So relive the memories with us. Good, bad, or indifferent, for WCW Retro. Myself, and sometimes me, and sometimes Derek. We'll have a different topic every show about our favorite wrestling company, WCW.
Call in and join us too. You can share the memories with us.
WCW Retro.
Right here on the VOC Nation Radio Network.
The most polarizing personalities worldwide. This is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
Hey, it's me, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Net Carrier has many great products and services to increase your bottom line. Be sure to ask your Net Carrier representative about our hosted PBX. Call Net Carrier today for a free analysis of your phone bills. 877-255-7733. That's right, 877-255-7733. Call now.
Right here, right now, you better recognize that I am down with the VOC Nation. Now recognize that.
Steiner, Nevada Style Pub invites you to play the best tavern, keno, and video poker in Vegas. We just gave away over $444,000 in daily free play, with even more to come. It's not only great gaming that Steiner's Pub has, it's the best bar food and beer lists to match our hospitality. Are you ready for some football? Drink Miller and ice-cold craft beer starting at just $2.50. Don't miss your chance to win 12 55-inch TVs or win $100,000 in cash by drinking Svedka vodka. Steiner's, the Nevada-style pub at 8410 West Cheyenne, 1750 North Buffalo, and Las Vegas Boulevard and Windmill. Steiner's, I love this place.
Hey, it's me, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. And if you're looking for the best sports and entertainment memorabilia, you gotta check out my friends at American Icon Autographs. It's awesome, baby! Hey, check out the best memorabilia in town. They've got thousands of authentic autographs. That's right. Take it from me, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. If you want sports memorabilia, baby, you got it. Baseball, basketball, hockey, Playboy Playmates, even wrestling. They're awesome, baby. Don't get caught in the sleeper hole. You better check out American Icon Autographs.
Are you getting lost in the cloud? Is technology moving too fast for you? Find your way at netcarrier.com. Ride the end cloud and soar above your competition.
Looking for a DJ? Looking for someone to host your event? Then look no further. Philadelphia's hottest DJ and host, The Voice of Choice. The Voice of Choice has hosted the hottest events in the tri-state area. Book The Voice of Choice for all your karaoke, conventions, and parties. Go to www.vocnation.com for more information or email The Voice of Choice at voc@vocnation.com.
Hi, this is Anthony. And this is Garty. We are the forces of radio. The faces for radio. Come relax with us. We love hosting Feces for Radio. That's Faces for Radio. Can you please remember to get the name of the show right? Sorry. We tackle sports, entertainment, and have a kick-ass soundboard. Erases for Radio has it all. Faces for Radio. Find us on the VOCNation.com, listen to us live, or download it later. Follow us on Twitter at Faces for Radio 1. That's Faces for Radio. Funky for Radio. Shut up.
Time for the Funhouse with AK.
This is supposed to be a comedy show, right?
Hey Brady, did they use that theme music last night at the debate?
Brady Hicks, you,
oh my God.
You big dummy. I see what you're doing there. Trying to be funny.
It's a producer. I had nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back in the room on the VOC Nation Radio Network, VOCNation.com, TheBradyHicks.com. Yeah. What a fun interview with Heidi Lee Morgan. Thank you to her. I'll definitely have to set something up.
Pretty awesome.
Back on. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed. I could just sit back and listen to her all night. She talked about the debates flying by. I felt like that interview flew by. That was like nothing. So we're sitting here now. Derek McDonald's joining. We're sitting here. We're on the cusp of quite possibly the next big merger with WWE, quite possibly buying TNA. We'll find out in the next couple days, I guess, if that happens. Or maybe Billy Corgan will do it, or maybe it'll just, I don't know, just kind of go away the same way that it came. Would it be something if Jeff Jarrett and his dad bought it?
What is going on with Global? He might have to buy it. I don't know.
You never hear anything about Global anymore.
But yeah. You know what though? I feel bad for the way he was ousted out of the company, but they might have been in better hands with him.
Probably. I always kind of felt like that. That might be, yeah.
Hey Derek, have you seen the GoFundMe page yet for TNA Impact?
They have a GoFundMe page. That's awesome.
Brady, I didn't get a chance to tell you. Down in Baltimore this weekend with Jimmy Hart.
Oh yeah,
I was telling him that he's the commercial's always on, and he's like, "Oh, bless you, honey, bless. Now when is your show on?" I said, "It comes on Tuesday nights at 9:00," and he went, "Can't you guys change it? Because I would call in, but I'm watching SmackDown at that point."
That's right.
He's full of crap too, Kathie. He's in bed by 8:00 easy. Maybe we could pre-record with him.
That's
maybe
what I
we
told
could.
him.
Yeah.
Well, another funny thing was my adopted son was driving him around, and they came back to the arena, and they said, he says, "Oh, do me a favor, take a picture of that poster for me." So Randy says, "Okay," and takes a picture, and he says, "Well," he goes, "I'm not good with stuff. Here, I'm going to give you a number, and you just forward it to it." He had him forward the picture of the poster to Hogan.
Oh, I need that number.
Oh, my God.
That number. Oh,
I need that number.
That's it. Jimmy's going on Jericho's list.
Yeah.
That's it.
And my adopted son went, "I'm never taking this off my phone ever."
That's awesome. Do you you still have Jimmy's contact, right, Kathie?
I can get that, no problem.
Yeah, I used to have it. I lost my phone a couple of years ago. I lost a lot of my contacts when that happened. But Jimmy was great. I remember one time we all went out to breakfast and he was making fun of one of the co-hosts on the VOC Wrestling Nation at the time, Namar, and he kept calling him Smothered and Covered because he was being all picky about his breakfast. A couple of years later, we're watching Legends House, and they had to pick like team names, and Jimmy Hart was a captain, and he named his team Smothered and Covered.
Smothered and Covered.
Smothered and Covered.
Smothered and Covered.
I love Jimmy.
Hey, Derek.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Derek, I mentioned earlier in the show about Kevin Owens shooting on Seth Rollins about hurting people.
Oh, yeah. About hurting people, yeah. Yeah. Good on you, Kevin Owens. Good on you. Oh, Seth the Hitman Rollins.
Poor Seth. Thoughts and prayers, Seth. Did you see the GIF of
He's on the
Chris
list.
Jericho taking off his scarf and he folds it up real nice and he hands it to Kevin Owens, and then he turns around and Owens just kind of tosses it over his head.
He just throws it.
Yeah, he just throws it. That was great. We're also at, and we got a bunch of callers. I promise we'll get to you guys in 1 second. We're also coming off of Clash of Champions. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I like Backlash better. I'm starting to think I might just like the SmackDown guys better. But I'm really happy what they're doing with Cesaro and Sheamus. I think that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Kevin Owens as a champion. So I guess between those two and the women doing exactly what I knew they would do, I guess I'm okay with the pay-per-view. I thought it was good.
Yeah, Sting and Ric Flair were great. Oh, I'm sorry. The other class. Not bad.
You know,
let me tell you, with Rusev and Reigns, they are really going at it.
Oh, they beat the crap
That's my favorite Raw feud.
They
that was
beat
awesome.
the crap out of each other.
Oh man,
you almost wonder like where are they going to go from there? You know?
Exactly.
Please, God, Mick Foley, don't team them up too. Good Lord.
I'm hoping. I mean, I know it's so long away, but if they have a really violent feud for the next month, they could stretch that and put them in a Hell in a Cell together.
Yeah.
That'd be tight.
I don't see why not. One of my favorite Hell in a Cells that kind of gets lost was the match that Roman had with Bray Wyatt at Hell in a Cell, where they just beat the snot out of each other. And I like those type of matches. And as far as the pay-per-view, I enjoyed the pay-per-view. I enjoyed the tag match. I thought Perkins when Perkins wasn't trying to kill Kendrick, I enjoyed that match. But it was pretty good.
Well, I thought it was
really
pretty cool that last night on Raw how they had the cruiserweights. You know,
the tag match,
and Tony Nese, Richie Swann, Drew Gulak, who we've been on, Lance DiNardo. I mean, it was really, really neat to see guys that have busted their butt to be on there and do that. That was great.
Yeah. So cool.
I'm really happy.
We just had Drew Gulak on like June?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's Drew Gulak. He's I was surprised he was on there. I guess they're saving guys like Jack Gallagher and those guys. I guess they're saving them. But I was happy to see Nese on there, so it's good to see Long Island boy made good.
Yeah.
And
another
Rich
guy.
Swann,
I mean,
Rich. Yes, with the little bit of time that they give him, he stands out, and I hope somebody's taking notice of him because whenever the camera's on him, he steals the show, and I hope they're paying attention to him.
I love Swann's aggressiveness. Man, he's so just so gung ho. You know what I mean?
I hate to say it. Sorry, I hate to say it, but since Rich Swann has been on the TV more and more, you'll notice that they kind of scaled back Darren Young a little. That's kind of scary to me.
What the hell does that mean?
I'm just saying, because Rich has so much more personality, I think.
Oh. What does that have to do with Darren Young? Out of everybody on the roster, what the hell?
Because they're taking TV time away from Darren Young and giving it to Rich Swann.
Wait a minute. Hold the hell up. Wait, out of everybody on the Raw roster that wasn't on TV, you picked Darren Young. What Titus O'Neil didn't come to mind first? You forgot about Titus?
No, Darren Young is more comparable to me than Rich Swann. I don't know. Darren Young just physically seems more similar to Rich Swann to me.
Look how big Darren Young is. Look how small Rich Swann is. What are you talking about?
I think their personalities come off similar, but I think Rich has more.
Rich is I always hear things they say.
Sorry.
I heard John Cena say one time that whatever time Vince gives you, make sure you make the most of that time. And I feel like that's what Rich Swann is doing.
Me too. Let's I almost hate to throw a roadblock out there, but let's go to the phone. Like Mike today, to the back.
To the back.
To the back.
To the back.
Hey, Brady.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Hello, Joseph.
Oh man. So I got the friend suggestion today with what's his name?
Who?
The best.
I'm doing great. I am doing great. 401 days. 401 days. Demolition, we coming for you.
Yeah.
The basketball player. Steph Curry. I got a Steph Curry friend request today. I thought of you.
What?
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a little bit odd.
Little bit, yep.
Rich Swan's got his theme song stuck in my head now.
Dustin, don't you think Rich Swan and Darren Young are similar?
Can you handle it?
I think so. Yeah.
What do you mean you think so? How? How are they alike?
I think so.
How are they alike?
All you ask is these weird questions, and it puts me on the spot here.
I'm just having fun. You know what?
I have an asthma attack.
T.J. Perkins has a much cooler song than Rich Swan, I think.
How dare you?
I feel like I'm playing like Contra.
Rich Swan, if he couldn't come out to All Night Long, this theme song is the second best choice.
So I just got there watching SmackDown, and I saw what happened. John Cena decided to get in the ring after AJ Styles punched him, and it cost Dean Ambrose the match.
The face. John Cena is the face that runs the place. I love that saying. I don't know why. The face. Do you not like John Cena?
I ain't got a problem with him.
You better not.
No.
You don't want
no.
You don't want
that. No, I don't.
Even right now, you don't.
No, I'm just hoping that he wins the championship and no mercy.
Well, that's not going to happen. Well, yeah,
John Cena? That'd be awesome.
I came on right after you was getting off, and Kathie was reading you the Riot Act. So I have to ask you, what is your problem with AJ Styles?
I just don't care for him.
You don't care for AJ Styles?
He doesn't have to.
No, Brady, I got this.
It's
Why?
my opinion.
Wait. Is it because he doesn't wear an all-black Power Ranger suit like Seth Rollins? Is that why you don't like AJ Styles?
No, it's just my opinion. None of my friends like him either.
Hey, why? Why don't none of you guys like AJ? He's the best wrestler in the world.
They just don't like him. They think he's taking the easy way out of matches now.
He takes the easy
doing what
way
Seth
out
Rollins
of
does.
matches. Oh, so you're not a Seth Rollins fan anymore either, huh?
Well,
and no, he doesn't. He doesn't do what Seth Rollins does because he's had numerous matches with John Cena. He didn't break his nose one time. So don't compare AJ Styles to Seth Rollins.
What I'm saying is that I'm starting not to like Seth Rollins anymore because I'm getting a lot of people are starting to hate me for it. So a lot of my friends tell me that I suck because I like Seth Rollins and they don't like him.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? People tell me I suck because I don't like Hillary. It's okay, Dustin. It happens.
You don't want to be mentioned in the same breath as Brady Hicks. Notice he said Hillary.
There was a great moment. I don't know if you caught it during the pay-per-view. There was a great moment where Seth Rollins threw his knee wildly into Kevin Owens' face, and I thought, oh my God, here we go. But he was okay.
He's a nut. So all right.
He's a nut.
Who's your favorite wrestler now, Dustin?
I really nobody right now. Nobody on Raw.
Easy, buddy. Take it
nobody
easy.
on Raw, probably Randy Orton on SmackDown. So.
Kathie's got most stuttering.
Yeah, Kathie got them all flustered. Jeez. So you like nobody?
I'm with you,
Dustin. You don't like Roman Reigns. You don't like Cesaro.
He doesn't like Dean Ambrose. He doesn't like Dean Ambrose. He doesn't like.
It made me
you don't like
going
Donkey Clown?
When he won the United States Championship. I was like, boo, when he won the championship. Boo.
You don't like Sin Cara?
You don't like Braun Strowman. No, nobody on Raw. Sometimes on Raw when I turn the channel. Well,
you know who's coming back soon, Dustin? I don't know if you heard. Paige is coming back soon.
I
know for a fact that Cody Rhodes will be making his TNA debut at Bound for Glory Sunday.
Oh, don't hold your breath.
No, he ain't.
Is that a fact?
Your breath, kid. You hold your
Maybe
breath.
Cody Rhodes bought the company. How great would that be?
That would be awesome. What if he got in the ring and he had like a jacket on at Bound for Glory? He rips the jacket off and it's a WWE shirt, and he was like, "It was me all along." And then he has
I'm gonna
kill
it.
Oh, God damn it!
I'm gonna kill TNA Impact.
I did have that flash of a moment last week. That conspiracy theory flashed through my head because I was watching the illegal stream, and TNA never takes down the illegal stream. WWE always does, but TNA took down the illegal stream from Impact. Just the one segment that had Cody Rhodes wouldn't show up. You couldn't get it anywhere except YouTube on their official YouTube. That was the only way I could get it. And I'm just thinking, like, man, is Vince already funneling money into this?
I mean, like for as bad as ECW was, they went out of business because they couldn't find a network, not because they couldn't afford to put on shows. But that's pretty bad on TNA's part.
So, Brady, what do you think of the main event for Bound for Glory, Ethan Carter versus Bobby Lashley for the TNA title? And I think everyone's saying that everyone's saying that Ethan Carter's the favorite in this match. They're saying he's going to win the championship.
No, everybody.
But will it happen, though? Will it happen?
Everybody's wondering, is there going to be a ring in the building on Sunday? Is what everybody's wondering.
Is there going to be a building?
I want Cody Rhodes now to come out with a polka dot vest and announce that he's the new Booker man. That's what I want.
Oh man. Damn,
that's what I want. And then Lashley can win because Lashley beats everybody.
Yeah,
well, Brady, here's the thing. I'm probably not going to watch Raw no more until Finn Balor comes back. So
sounds good.
Wow.
Okay.
I hope you're not going.
I
hope you're not resting on watching TNA from now on because yeah, that might be short watching, kid. You might have to go to WWE Network to get your TNA fix.
Well, I'm just waiting until Finn Balor comes back. So I think when he comes back, he's gonna win the title back.
You know what? I hope Rusev is the champion when he comes back, and I hope Rusev throws Finn Balor around. How about that?
I don't care if Rusev either. I really don't.
Champion.
Really, when I was watching the Roman Reigns and Rusev match, I didn't root for neither. I was like, every time Roman Reigns did something, I'll go boo. When he won the championship, I was like, boo.
Are you not an American?
Wow, that's stiff.
Well, I'm getting to the point where I'm fixing to quit watching WWE because all my friends are making fun of me because they say why are you watching wrestling? Because it's gay, because guys wrestle with other guys. I'm like, really? Y'all need to shut up. And that's why I'm trying to. This is why I'm not going to watch WWE no more.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
Wait a damn minute. Your friends say wrestling is gay.
Yeah, pretty much. This is why I don't want to watch it no more.
Way to be PC in 2016, kids. Way to go. What does your friends watch for fun? What do they get entertainment out of? What do they watch?
Volleyball.
Well, I'm just saying, the fact is that they said it's gay that I sit around and watch guys wrestle with other guys.
I like women's volleyball. That's not gay.
Look at Brady being the voice of reason. Look at Brady. That's not good at all. Do they watch football? Do they watch basketball? What do they watch for fun?
Pac-Man?
Football, basketball, baseball, all of it.
All right.
Donkey Kong?
I played football. So and there's a guy called the quarterback who takes his hand and puts it under the butt of another man who's crouched over. What do your friends have to say about that in football?
I don't know, really. Yeah, you got a point there, Derek.
I know I do. I know I do.
What about when football players pat each other on the butt? Hey, good job. Yeah. They don't do that in wrestling.
They violently slap you in football.
They prefer synchronized swimming.
So Derek, I want to get your opinion on the
Marco.
on that New Day segment last night.
Hello.
So was that planned, or did that actually happen? Kobe Kingston getting busted up like that last night.
Hello.
Well, little Carl Anderson, who's a very small man. I think I'm bigger than Carl Anderson, but he threw Kofi into the ring steps and busted him open. But as the wrestlers say, Kofi gave him a receipt when he kicked him in his face with that Trouble in Paradise. So I think they might be square. I think
it's a new day.
Yeah, I was like, man, poor Kofi.
If I was Kofi and I saw I was bleeding, I would have tagged Big E and said, "Get him, just get him." Yeah, Big E.
Really, here's the thing, Derek. I really, when I saw Luke Gallows Carlson hit the magic killer on Kobe Kingston, I was like, oh, wait a second, the match is over. They're gonna win the titles, and then here comes Big E breaking the pin. I was like, oh yeah, the New Day still got lives.
Oh wait a minute, you were cheering for the New Day?
Well, it's just the fact is that I don't want Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows to be the champions.
I'm sorry, so you're not allowed.
Wow.
I'm sorry, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to cheer for them because there's a community of us, and we're not going to allow you to win. I'm sorry.
You can be in my community, Dustin. I was cheering for Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
Yep. And
whoa! I wasn't cheering for them. I was cheering for the New Day because I can't stand.
Come on, swing him up, Dustin. Too sweet. Come on, swing up the hand sign.
I just want Gallows and Anderson to have Dana Brooke with them all the time now.
See? Oh. Yeah. See, Brady wants a world where guys like Darren Swan and Rich Young can be on Raw at the same time every week.
Darren Swan and Rich Young.
And Rich Young. They can be on TV at the same time every week.
Well, guys, thanks for having me on. It's time right now, so I'm going to get off.
Damn you,
Did you say the cops running by?
No, I said thanks for having me on.
Love you, Dustin.
It's the heat. Love you too.
Bye. Dustin, as always, I love him. I do.
God damn it, that poor kid. I hope for his sake there's a bow for glory because he's going to be heartbroken if he orders that pay-per-view and there's nothing on that screen.
He's probably
Tora, what's going on?
To be on TNA Impact. Bound for glory.
Dustin,
what's going on, Tora? Tora, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, baby doll?
Handle it. Oh, now, east, west, I know my name.
What do you think, Tora? I'm thinking maybe in a couple days' time there will be no more TNA. It'll just be a little folder on the WWE network. Which, by the way, technically, Derek, I think that means I won my bet if it's there forever.
No, this is bullcrap. No, hell no. It's almost like 3 years to the month, too. Hell no.
Had they listened to me three years ago or 2 years ago or whatever it was, I guess it was when they were leaving. Right before they signed with Destination America, when they were leaving Spike, I said the smartest thing Dixie could do would be to contact Vince and work out some sort of a content deal where they provide them content with all these ex-WWE stars that they still had at the time. And I think WWE would have gone for it. And as long as WWE covered their overhead, that's all they needed to do. And they could have stayed in business forever on the WWE network. And I'm sure WWE would have done it. I'm almost positive.
They could have been what NXT is now. And it would have worked out.
Right.
And they probably would have been spending. I would think in order to produce an Impact taping, it has to be the same as it takes to do an NXT taping. It has to be.
Oh yeah, if not less.
And Dixie wanted to be Vince, and look what happened.
Well, nobody can be Vince. Only Vince can be Vince.
Exactly. It's just be happy. I mean, and I think I heard Ric Flair say this about WCW. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yep. That's right.
And all those guys and girls would have been able to stay in TNA, except for Jessica Havoc or whatever, because of the racist thing. But other than her, everyone would have been able to stay in TNA.
I mean, if you look at the WWE roster, if you name their top 10, maybe 15 over guys, there's at least 6 guys from Impact on that list. When you say Styles and Joe and Rude and Aries, it's like you had
Eric Young coming in. Yeah,
Eric Young. You could have picked up Dan. You could have had Daniel Bryan and Ambrose and Rollins and all these guys there in ROH, but you were too busy spending money on Rob Van Dam and the Nasty Boys and Val Venus and Shannon Moore. Like, they missed out on all of that. Sorry, Shannon Moore. I didn't mean to come for you like that. That was uncalled for. I'm sorry.
If nothing else, I think selfishly, I really would have liked to see Kurt Angle's final year documented on the WWE Network. Because I don't think he's ever going to be the same.
No. Oh, no. I see him now, like, I see him doing interviews, and just physically he looks drained. Like, he looks like a man who's lived a very rough, physical, athletic life. And even if I think he'll wrestle one more match in WWE, but I don't think it'll be,
You know what I was thinking about it? I was thinking about it the other day, actually, and WWE sends their guys to, I guess it's Dr. Maroon in Pittsburgh for the physicals when they're coming in. Now, Kurt being from Pittsburgh, I'm thinking, when they were talking about him coming in, I can almost guarantee you he went in for a physical and couldn't get anywhere near what they were looking for, and they just said, you know what, we won't talk about it, and we'll just act like maybe sometime down the line. And it worked out for both parties to do that, I think.
I just hope. I mean, even if he just gets a job, like I just saw Devon. Devon got a job backstage. Give Kurt one of those jobs. That's
great.
Yeah,
he's an agent.
He's an agent.
That's good.
Awesome.
He deserves that. That's really what he wanted when he went back.
Yeah, and I think Bully is going to be on WWE TV fairly soon.
He won't be on TNA TV too fairly soon.
Oh well, yeah, that's going.
Yeah.
Although maybe he will. Maybe I should make that bet.
Can you imagine being a talent in TNA and you have to hear this? This is terrible. This is worse than. Is this worse than when the guys in ECW turned on Raw and Paul Heyman was walking down the ramp on Raw and they had no idea what was happening? Is this worse than that?
Right.
Yeah, I feel for those guys.
I can't even imagine.
I mean, Jeff Hardy fought a kangaroo for the TNA fans. I watched him box a kangaroo. And now the company's going to go out of business.
If WWE had owned them and they were on the WWE Network, do you think they would have tried to rein them in content-wise?
Oh,
would we have not gotten Willow? Would we have never gotten,
Hell no.
The Matt Hardy on drugs character? We wouldn't have gotten that?
No. You think Vince was going to let Jeff do a swanton out of a tree onto somebody? No. Hell no.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Let's go, Rat Boy. What's going on, buddy?
How y'all doing, y'all presents? I tell you what, I'm going to give you the best rundown this week so far. You know who's winning so far out of the TV listings?
Who?
No. Who?
It's Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. The battle. And number 2 is the Eagles beat Pittsburgh. Yeah, let's go Eagles.
Don't remind me,
good.
Rat Boy. I'm still.
They look good, Rat Boy.
Oh my God.
Let's go Eagles! It's September. Yeah.
And number 3, I believe Odell Beckham lost to a kicker's net, but that.
Yeah. I tell you what, Brady.
You know,
if you had guys on your team who love the game as much as Odell, you'd have a couple Super Bowls over there in Philadelphia. So maybe you need a couple Odells on your team.
Maybe. I'm about to make the bold prediction that Odell's never going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's pretty bold. Seeing that you live in a city where the guy played the Super Bowl on a broken leg and y'all chased him out of town and called him selfish.
I just don't think Odell has the heart. I don't.
Yeah.
I think he collapses he folds every time he faces anybody.
He had such a he caught 7 balls for over 120 yards and he has no heart. I hear you, Brady. I hear you.
Well, they looked really good in their big win.
Wait a minute.
Hey, Brady, how many September Super Bowls do the Eagles have? You guys got about 12 of them, right? One of those Super Bowls in September.
What's on your mind, Rat Boy?
I'm the referee here. Hang on. This is a wrestling show.
You started this, Rat Boy.
You don't want to came on
that was
talking
a
about
wrestling
this,
show. Okay.
I wasn't even going to talk Eagles.
Rat Boy,
I can just be happy. I can just be happy that we beat the Steelers and just be happy to move on. That's fine.
That's
I wasn't
right.
bragging.
You know, I'm happy, but I'm happier tonight because I'm taking a stage at 11:30 tonight.
Oh, what? Why you always come here promoting
the
yourself, Rat Boy?
comedy man.
This ain't
I'm
for
doing
you to film
comedy
the
tonight.
commercials. Rat Boy,
I'm
stop coming on
doing
here filming
comedy.
commercials. No, stop filming commercials on our show.
What commercial? I'm doing comedy tonight.
Yeah, come on here. You're promoting yourself. We didn't even ask you.
I should just.
Hey, Brady.
I should give them 30 seconds of ad time every week. That's what we should
that's what
do.
it does.
Give him a little hotline where he can call and update his commercial.
Listen, you want a commercial? I give you a commercial.
No, we
right?
don't.
You're in the room with Brady Hicks at 9 o'clock Tuesday night. Be there. What? If you're not there, I'm going to beat you up.
Rat Boy, Jesus. Teenagers going out of business, Rat Boy. What do you think? You think teenagers going to survive or what?
You're not going to survive because you're supposed to be calling in at 9 o'clock to join the show, not 10.
They're not going to survive?
What kind of co-host you are?
Me? Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
When the last time the Rat Trap was on?
Feel love, man.
Oh, the Rat Trap is doing that from 7 to 9 every Thursday night.
Yeah.
Right here on the VOC Nation.
Yeah. No commercials on the show. Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Yeah, cut it out. No commercials, bro. Come on here.
We do need new commercials. Without you.
No, without you. Without you. You know how John Cena. You know how John Cena is the face that runs the place, right? Wait, no, he says that.
Wait a minute. I'm the face of the company here, the VOC Nation.
You know what I am? I'm the soul that helps the show. I know that don't rhyme, damn it, but it sounds cool. That's what I am. All right, Rat Boy.
Wait a minute. I'm Mr. Main Event. I close out the show every week.
You ain't no dang man. You're Mr. Dark Match.
Man, where'd you get this character from? New York, Connecticut, Long Island? I don't know where he's from. You know, you better.
I am definitely not from Connecticut.
Rhode Island.
You're from Trenton, New Jersey, Rat Boy. Trenton, New Jersey.
Yeah.
You know what's the best thing about Trenton?
What?
I'll tell you. When you're watching the weather and they do the tri-state area weather, they might show Trenton on the big screen. That's the best thing about where you live.
Yeah, but there's one thing about Trenton, though. I'm surviving in Trenton. If you come to Trenton, forget it. You're too scared to come to Trenton.
Wow.
No, I'm too smart to go to Trenton. You spelled it wrong. I'm too smart to go to Trenton.
No, you're scared. You're scared.
Scared of what?
Jeez.
You're scared
of what?
A lot of anger
here.
Around
here.
I'm
a lot of anger.
The crime, the guns, the cops, everything. You're scared to come to Trenton.
Rat Boy, do you know where the hell I'm from? Do you know where the hell I'm from, Rat Boy? You think I'm scared of... First of all, crime, that's a very random word. I'm afraid of crime. What, shoplifting? Like, what do you mean I'm afraid of crime?
Maybe he means crime time.
Yeah. You're from Queens, New York. I know where you're from because you hang around with Eddie Murphy and
He said New York. He said New York.
I am definitely not from Queens, New York, and neither is Eddie Murphy. Not to mention, I'm 30 years old, and Eddie Murphy's 50-something years old.
I know you're up there somewhere, but I will find you.
Please, Rap Boy, please come find me so I can spray you when you're on my lawn. Just spray you with my water hose. Get out of here, kid. Get out of here.
You won't be spraying me. You be spraying your little doggy there.
How dare you? Don't you talk about Chewy, okay? You haven't earned the right to talk about Chewy, okay?
Is that Ching Chang Chewy or Chewy?
How dare you? Chewy. His name is Chewy. His name is Chewy. What did my son call him? Chewy M. Dog. That's the name. That's what my son calls him. No, his full name is Cheward M. Dog. Cheward. That's his first name.
All right. All right. There's something I gotta say right now. Okay. I read it on Facebook. All right. About one particular wrestler made these kids cry this weekend.
Okay. Are you gonna promote yourself?
This is sad. This is actually a sad story. I wasn't even gonna bring it up. So there was this lady. She brought her son to the ECWA show, and he had seen one of our wrestlers, Sean Carr, at a couple other shows. Really friendly guy, signs autographs and everything. She didn't realize that the Sean Carr that comes to ECWA is not as nice as the other Sean Carr. So he kind of made the little kid cry.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I don't like him. He made me cry too.
Oh, take it easy, Rapper. You're a fully grown man, buddy. But what? What the hell? That's terrible. That's terrible.
I mean, it was just like the kid. He's just coming out to the ring, and the kid reached out his hand, and he just got in his face, and I guess scared him or whatever, and kept going.
Oh, bless his heart.
Yeah.
You know what though? In a sick way, that's what wrestling is about. Did he make it up to the kid afterward, or he just left the kid emotionally scarred?
Nope.
I think he reached out to him on Facebook. He reached out to the mom on Facebook after. I don't think he realized the impact that he had.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Well,
I'm putting Sean Carr on my list.
What list is that, Rap Boy?
He's gonna make you cry.
It is the most hateful wrestler of this year.
The most hateful wrestler?
Wow.
The hateful wrestler this year, Sean Carr.
I think that's what he's going for, isn't it?
He probably is. You know, he went that hateful award. I give him a hateful award right beside his head.
Speaking of hateful wrestlers, did anybody watch? Oh, you guys are doing an interview when SmackDown was on. They're going to do Miz versus Ziggler again for the 20th time. And apparently, if Dolph Ziggler doesn't win the title, he's going to retire. And I read somewhere that his contract's up. So I think we're going to see the end of Mr. Dolph Ziggler on WWE TV, which makes me very sad because I read a report about Shelton Benjamin, and they said when he returned, they wanted to do a stable with him and Jack Swagger, and they were going to be like shooters. And if Dolph Ziggler's not around, I guess it's not going to happen. That's
they could do it with Cesaro though, because they've been making overtures to bring Cesaro to SmackDown.
This is shooter. Oh yeah, or even you can add in American Alpha. Just have have them go out there and throw guys around. It's just Dolph. There was so much potential with Dolph that he's leaving on the table by not doing something like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, he's been mistreated. Isn't the right word, but he's been overlooked for so long and not used properly for so long that I almost feel like nobody's ever irreparable, but I feel like they've really painted themselves into a corner with him to the point where it's tough to get excited if he has a big match, and
you
almost never expect him to win. And if he wins, it almost comes off like a fluke because he never wins.
And I saw somewhere where somebody kind of compared him to Christian, but you know what? When Christian had that feud with Randy Orton, I legit, I brought into Christian being a top guy. Dolph, like that feud with Dean Ambrose, I never thought he had a shot at all.
No, not even for a second. And it wasn't even the main event. It was like the 5th biggest match on the show. It was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame. It really is. I compare Dolph Ziggler to the Shawn Michaels of like his locker room. Except this would have been what happened if nobody ever got behind Shawn Michaels. By the way, we are almost out of time on the live feed, so if you're listening and you got cut off, be sure to go to vocnation.com in a couple minutes. You can download the full audio of the show, or you can play it in the archives in the little player there. But there's always that option when we cut off in about 10 seconds.
I know my theory is Doug is going to still be around. The Miz is going to lose his belt. The Miz is going to go leave for a while and do another movie.
Maybe. I just, you know what? I see Dolph Ziggler, and I see the company having given up on him. And to a certain extent, I think he gave up on the company. When he started doing all of Shawn Michaels' stuff almost exclusively, I feel like he really just stopped caring and just wanted to just have fun until his contract was up. That's my opinion.
I gotta go because I gotta go down 3 blocks to the bar because I gotta be on stage by 11:30.
Yeah, open mic sounds good, Rad Boy.
My partner, I got a partner. Watch it. His name is Billy the Kid.
I'll look for it. He cut his hair too, by the way.
Huh?
I said you cut off all your hair too, by the way.
Yeah. There's pictures. There's pictures on Facebook. Just look at them. I look good.
Take care, Rat Boy.
I'm too sexy for these ladies now.
That's right. I'll talk to you later, brother.
They love bald-headed men. They love bald-headed men. All right.
Love you, brother.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, and that was Rat Boy and Tora before him. Oh, man. So, I mean, if Dolph Ziggler leaves, I guess he's looking at New Japan, I guess. I don't even know. Am I alone here? Is anybody here?
No. No, I'm here.
Okay. Thought I was alone.
I had pressed mute by mistake. I was talking. I think Dolph has made a pretty good chunk of change in WWE. He's been there for so long. Maybe he wants to go. Isn't he like a stand-up comedian? Maybe he wants to do that for a while.
Yeah, but he's so good athletically. Like, I hate to see him waste it.
I know. I don't know.
And he's at least 10 years away from needing to be a trainer. Like, if they said, if he was 10 years older and he was going to leave and, like, go do, like, what William Regal's doing or, like, go down there and be a trainer, like, I could see that because he's good enough in the ring. Like, he's really good.
He is.
I kind of see him being, like, what the hell was his name? He left WWE. He was on SmackDown. He never really got a push, and then he went to Ring of Honor, and he became, like, the shooter. Gunner Scott. What the hell was it? I forget what they called him, and I used to see him all the time in Ring of Honor.
Brent,
you know what I mean?
Was that Brent Albright?
Brett Albright. Greg Albright.
Brent Albright, right? Yeah, he was Gunner Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
great.
Yeah, like, and in WWE, he was like nothing.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at guys like Drew Galloway, who I think is making good money, I guess you can go the Drew Galloway way, and you can, go overseas and go to, all these other. But you know what? I was gonna say he can go to PWG, but He can go to PWG, not Evolve. I think Evolve has the relationship with WWE now. But I guess there's places.
In your words, in your words, Derek, he best not call Dixie.
Oh, hell no. No. Don't pick up any calls with a Nashville area code. Don't do it. She might be asking you for money to invest.
They don't need to be spending any more money anyway. It's like somebody that has a credit card and shouldn't have it, you know?
You know who feels the worst right now? James Storm. Because wasn't he in NXT? He was there.
Right, and then he left to go back to TNA for like a deal for more money.
Yeah, and now look at it. Damn it, James.
Yeah.
Damn it, Cowboy.
He was almost done anyway, though. He was pretty old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure these guys want to get at least one WWE. I mean, look, last year I saw Jushin Liger in the NXT ring. You know, if that happened, I'm pretty sure anything could happen.
Yeah, that's true. No, you're right. You're right. I'll tell you what, and I got to get out of here a little early this week, but anything could happen this week, you know, as far as this whole sale goes. We really could be looking at something really landmark halfway through the week. I definitely encourage people to check the news wire come Thursday and Friday because I think it's going down real soon, whatever it is, you know. And it might be anticlimactic. It might just be, you know what, Billy decides to give them enough money to get through the weekend. They're not supposed to tape again this year. Maybe that's what's going to happen, and maybe instead of being a 30% owner, now he'll be a 49% owner. I almost hope that's not the case, but it might be.
I just, you know what, a part of me wants it to be over, so if you're not going to pay the guys, just let the guys go somewhere else and work. It's not fair to them. They have to wake up every morning, it seems like, and there's a new story about if they're going to have a job or not, and that's not fair to them.
Right. And I'll do one further, too. Like, when TNA was thriving, and even not thriving, but when they were existing, it was a place for guys to go and work. And nowadays, most of their roster, with the exception of the top 3 or 4 guys, most of their roster is working other places anyway.
Yeah, they do indies or something.
It's not like they're exclusive to anybody really anymore. So it's not like all these guys are losing out on a massive payday or anything like that. They're losing out on the chance to be on TV. Sure, some of them are. But I think a lot of those guys, especially the top ones, will land on their feet. And the bottom ones, honestly, probably make more money with their indie bookings anyway.
Yeah, I believe so. And if you look like at a guy like Bobby Lashley, he's fighting in Bellator. He can probably survive off his fighting contract with Bellator. And guys like EC3 and Galloway. Like, I'm pretty sure if Vince bought the company, of course, I think he'd bring back the Hardys. I think he'd drool over who EC3 is now, and a few other guys. But you know, the rest of that, you know, and guys like Abyss, I'm pretty sure Abyss can make pretty good living on the indies if he didn't get the call from WWE. But it's sad. It's sad that it's reached this point, and we're at a point now where we could be doing the show next week, and TNA is a thing of the past.
It is sad. You're right. But by the same token, and Stro, I don't mean any insult by this at all when I say it, but like, kind of like WCW in a way, where like if TNA goes under this week, it's not the TNA that we all knew and loved anyway, you know. And it's kind of like the way WCW was at the end. Like, sure, they still had a lot of really talented guys on the roster and stuff like that, but it wasn't the WCW that we knew for the 4 and 5 years before that were just kicking ass.
Oh, well, I wasn't there.
It was
like
different.
At the very end anyway. My contract was
Yeah.
up, and as soon as it was up, things really started to tank. I remember going a few months later after I left and seeing them not combined Nitros and Thunders in one taping in the same night and working Lance Storm to death and talking to Flair and him telling me how miserable he was, you know, and like he was ready to stick the fork in it then too, you know.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, we're talking
they were
about,
ready.
You know, they had the NWO, and at the end, I remember like Scott Steiner was sicking attack dogs on Sting, in the backstage area, and it was like, what is this? It's a sideshow, and this is what TNA. The days of the AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Chris Daniels Triple Threat Classic. Those days are long gone, and it's sad.
They I think about it this way for everybody that's really pulling for TNA right now. If they make it through Bound for Glory somehow, even if it's just Billy throwing them extra money to get through, they're not scheduled to tape again until January 7th. Like that's what is that? 4 months from now?
Just
3 months
about.
from now?
Wow, Jay.
Like that.
I just realized it's still September. Jesus.
Like that's a long time to go. I know it's something to look forward to for some of the guys and everything, but half the guys who matter are in Ring of Honor anyway, or could be in the snap of a finger.
Yeah, and Ring of Honor, they need those guys, because I think within the next year, I think they're going to lose Lethal, and I think they're going to lose Adam Cole, and I think the Bucks are going. So they're going to need those guys. So they'll be a welcome addition to ROH.
It'll be. We're in for interesting times. That's for sure. Yeah. So that's kind of where we are. I guess everybody just kind of stay tuned, and we'll see where this is headed. I do have to get out of here, guys, and I apologize about that. Derek, did you have anything that you want to plug for this week?
I have nothing. Just wanted to say a little sidebar. I was watching No Way Out 1998. And Ahmed Johnson is a horrific wrestler. I don't remember him being that bad. He's terrible. So I wanted to say. Wow.
There's a joke to be made there, but I won't.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I got his name wrong. It's Ahmed Darren Swan. That's who it was.
No, Ezekiel. Ahmed Ezekiel Jackson Johnson.
Yeah. Or you can call him E for short.
Right. Kathie, what do you got coming up?
Nothing this weekend.
Okay. All right, Stro, how about you?
Well, tomorrow night, WCW Retro right here on VOCNation.com, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This Saturday, I'll be at the Wilmington Comic, Toy, and Hobby Show at Moose Lodge 343 in Wilmington, North Carolina. Coming October the 12th will be the premiere of the film I'm in called The Brothers Statue at the Calico Room in Wilmington, North Carolina. And October 8th, I'll be at the Wayne's, West Virginia Fall Festival with myself, Rock and Roll Express, and a whole much more. Bell time's 4 p.m. at Wayne, West Virginia. And for information on all that, plus a lot more movies and TV film, go to my official website at thestro.com, Facebook at Stro the Maestro, Twitter at the Stro, and Instagram at Stro Maestro.
Yeah, right. And from my end, everybody be sure to check out the ECWA, the Women's Super 8 tournament coming up, the Super 8 Chick Fight. That's October 22nd. Deonna Purrazzo coming back to defend her title against 7 of the most promising women on independent wrestling today. So that should be interesting. Be sure to check that out. Next week, Shelly Martinez returns with another live Martinez Girls Radio, her and her sister Danielle. Plus, Jordan Garber now, after In the Room next week, interviews Daniel Puder, I understand. So that should be interesting. Everybody be sure to check that out. On In the Room, we're going to have a good friend of mine, good friend of Kathie's. You know him as well, Stro, Bobby Shields.
Yes.
Yeah. Compete. Well, he just lost, unfortunately, a loser leaves ECWA match, but I understand the future is bright for him, as it should be, as Bobby Shields goes on to many other ventures, and he's going to talk about a lot of what he's got coming up, including, I understand, Stro, some work in companies that you're affiliated with, so that's exciting, and Bobby's going to talk all that, plus hopefully maybe a little Benny Kamer, since he's the reason that Ryback came up with Feed Me More all those years ago. So we'll talk with Bobby Shields next week. And, yeah, I mean, as far as what comes to mind, that's about it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in this week. Thank you to Heidi Lee Morgan. Tremendous interview. Got to get her back sometime real soon. And, yeah, that's about it. Everybody be good to each other. Take care. And we'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.